Hey, it is 12 noon on Friday, which means it's time for this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Christma. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. Every Friday, 12 noon Eastern Time, we're live to help you grow and jumpstart and enhance your real estate business. And so what we're talking about today is a question that we get so often. We even have material in our course that is based around this topic because it gets asked so often. And that's, how do you choose a real estate broker? Who is the best real estate broker for new agents? That's what we're talking about today. How to decipher everything that brokerages are going to be throwing at you and trying to entice you with, and really how this whole process will ultimately play out. So I'm really excited to bring this show for you today. This will really help you launch your career on the right foot. I'm John Christma. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate, and you're watching State of Real Estate.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Christma. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. And today we're talking about the best brokerage for new agents. And look, I've got a spoiler alert for you guys here. I'm not here to tell you that this one brokerage is the best brokerage for any new agents. I'm not here to tell you any brokerage is the one choice that every new agent should choose. But I am going to tell you the most important things it is that you need to look for. Because look, everyone's needs are going to be different. Maybe you're going into real estate part-time, maybe you're going into it full-time. Maybe you already have a sales background, maybe you don't have a sales background. Maybe you are very technical, maybe you're not very technical. You know, based on who it is that you are will change who the perfect broker is for you. There is no one-size-fits-all perfect brokerage for any agents or even just for new agents. But there are qualities it is that you want to look for in some way, shape, or form, and depending on where it is that you're trying to take your real estate business will tell you how much it is that you need these things. So let's jump right into it and get down to some things that are going to be important. I want to give a shout out to Mark tuning in over on Facebook. Long time watcher. I remember Mark tuning into these shows here before he even had his real estate license, and now he's out there killing it in Tampa. So what's going on, Mark? Thanks for tuning in. But let's get right down into it. Number one, most important thing, and I would even argue that this isn't even just the most important for new agents, but the most important for all agents, and that's because this business changes every single day, and that's training. Training is the number one most important attribute when you're looking to choose a real estate brokerage. So when you're looking to choose a real estate brokerage, and that's right, I said you choose. So if you're not familiar with this process already, I mean, once you have a real estate license, even when you're in the process of applying for the real estate license, brokerages are going to be hunting you down, trying to convince you why you should come join them, because they have a vested interest in bringing in successful agents. They bring in successful agents, they become more successful themselves. So there's a lot of brokerages out there that are going to seek out new agents, and typically these brokerages will generally be better suited for new agents than a brokerage that's not seeking out new agents. There are a lot of brokers out there who do not even consider new agents, who would not want a new agent because they only work with experienced agents because they don't know they don't have the infrastructure and the necessary tools and trainings and everything that's required to make a new agent successful. So as a new agent, the number one thing it is that you want to look for is training. And depending on you is going to dictate what type of training that may be. If you already come from some sort of sales background, maybe you sold cars before, maybe alarm systems, maybe you sold whatever in your past life, in your past career, and you already have a really good handle on sales, you probably don't need sales trainings. Maybe you still do. Maybe you could still sharpen that knife a little bit, because even the sharpest knife will eventually dull. So it might still benefit you a little bit, but it's not going to be your number one most important factor. You know, if you already have a sales background and you're going into real estate, you don't need training on sales at the most important. You need training on real estate transactions and closing real estate transactions in the specific intricate parts of the real estate transaction because you already have the sales part down. So it's kind of adapting that. Now, maybe you're starting real estate with no sales experience. And look, you don't necessarily need to worry about having the sales experience because, look, this is very much a people-based business. Now, understanding the sales process can make you more efficient, and that's absolutely something that can be learned. There's not people that are born salespeople. Salespeople are not born, salespeople are trained. So the training is important. What type of training that may be is going to depend on you and where you're at. Maybe you're considering changing brokers. Maybe the broker you're at is, they're a good broker, but you're thinking there might be something better out there. Training is still going to be important. I don't care what part of your real estate career it is that you're in. You want to keep your knife sharp. You want to still be the best it is that you could be to grow your business further. So the training, number one most important thing, especially for new agents. So that's what you want to ask them. And what it is that you want to interview them about when you're interviewing the broker. That's right, you're interviewing the broker. Don't let the broker seem like it's an interview for you. It's you interviewing the broker. Now, they might ask you some questions. I'm sure they will. Maybe at varying degrees of complexity, but ultimately it's on you to ask the questions and for you to find out if this brokerage is going to be the best place for you to call home for your real estate business. And with these trainings, it's going to depend what type of trainings there are. Now, look, if you're starting part-time, how are these trainings held? Are they in person or online? Are you just going to be watching some videos on a computer, or are they in-person trainings? Now, you might be the type of person who gets super distracted, and you need to be in the environment and surrounded by people who are there to achieve the same goal it is that you are trying to achieve. Probably don't want to do a brokerage that relies solely on online trainings. You probably are going to want some in-person trainings. But then on the other hand, maybe you're starting part-time, and you've got a day job, and all the trainings are during the day. Well, does that work out for you? So when you're interviewing the broker, ask them for a training schedule. If they don't have a training schedule, I would venture to say this might not be 100% true, but they probably don't have a great training program if they don't even have a formal training schedule put together. If the broker says, you don't really need any classes, we'll just throw you out there and we'll fix some things as they go along, you're going to be going through a lot of trial and error, and that's discouraging as a new agent. It's discouraging as an experienced agent to go through trial and error. It's inevitable that you're going to have some trial and error, but you want to try to minimize that. And for things that don't require trial and error, where there can be a simple class of walking through the steps of the sale, maybe working with buyers, maybe going through a listing appointment, something like that. And that's some of the benefits, too, of maybe having an in-person training program, is being able to role play with others there in the class when you're maybe doing a listing presentation, or maybe role playing about how to present yourself at an open house, or wherever these situations may be where you've got to be at your A game. Look, just sitting there and taking in the information, just watching a video, usually isn't going to be something that's going to really make you 100% at that skill it is that you just witnessed. You've got to do it yourself. And so the in-person allows for that. Now, the online still might be a great training program, but do they have people it is you're able to get around so you could kind of mirror what it is that they're doing? So that training part is a huge portion of whether or not you're going to be successful in real estate, because you need to know not only where it is that you're going, but how to get there. And those training programs are designed to assist in that. And then when you interview, these brokers ask for these things. Hey, can you give me a training schedule? Oh, well, we only give training schedules to our agents that are signed up. Hey, look, I'm not asking to come to the training class. I'm just asking to see the schedule of what classes you guys teach and when, to see if that's going to work with my schedule. Oh, well, I don't know. We don't want to share that information with an outsider. You know what? If they're trying to hide stuff and hold on, they're coming from a place of scarcity rather than a place of abundance. You should be able to walk into any brokerage that's looking to hire new agents, ask for a training schedule, and they're rolling out the red carpet for you. They're saying, yeah, here's our schedule. This is a great class. Have you taken any classes yet? Okay, well, I think you should maybe take this one, and, trying to get the ball rolling. A lot of brokers will even let you attend their trainings without being an agent in their office. And they're doing that because they're coming from that place of abundance rather than, our training, it's limited, it's only for people that are agents at our office. No, you should be able to get in there for what it is that the relationship that brokerage, the long-term relationship that brokerage is trying to establish with you. They should at least have something that they're willing to give you, some sort of preview, some sort of forward to the trainings that are to come. So training, and I know it seems like I've talked nothing but training so far, but that's because it's so important for your success in real estate. Now, another thing, and we could go by a couple different names. You really don't think about this too specifically, but this would be second in line, I would say, to training. Because without training, this isn't going to be as effective, but with training, this will take you from good to great. And that's some sort of mentorship, apprenticeship, some sort of program that exists to get you around other agents. Because it's one thing to witness what you're supposed to do and watch what you're supposed to do and maybe take a test on what it is you're supposed to do. It's a whole different ballgame when you actually have to do it. Think of how nervous you are if you've ever learned something before and then now your skills are put to the test. You've just learned something and now it's your first chance to show that you learned what you were supposed to learn. You're going to be nervous. You're going to make some mistakes and you might not even realize you're making those mistakes. So when I was talking about, doing role plays with maybe other agents or maybe the instructor or whoever it is to kind of go over how it is that you should say things, so mentorship, having some sort of 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 or 1-to-3, something small like that where you're able to have the interaction with somebody who is a proven success in the real estate industry. They might have the best training classes in the world, but the training classes alone aren't going to ensure that you're able to do what it is that you just learned. So having some sort of mentorship program, and even if it's the best training in the world, you're going to want somebody it is that you could turn to when you have a question that's outside of the syllabus, that's outside of the curriculum. Maybe this was the best training you've ever taken and you feel like you've learned everything about real estate, then you go to implement it and you're like, oh, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? This doesn't make much sense. I don't know what to do. Retaking the class is going to help you about that what-if scenario that wasn't covered in the class. So that's where having this mentorship, and in a smaller brokerage, this might be directly from the broker. This might be the broker taking you under the wing. Now, with the smaller brokerages, if they don't have that many agents where it's the broker themselves as the person mentoring you, maybe they don't have that built out and that scaled out of a training program. In a more medium-sized or larger brokerage, these mentors don't have to be the broker. They just need to be somebody that knows more than you do, who has more experience than you do. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the broker. It just has to be somebody that's better than you, more experienced, more knowledgeable, more confident. That's what you need to get yourself around. And maybe the brokerage, because again, there's no one-size-fits-all brokerage for all agents out there. Maybe the brokerage doesn't have any formal sort of mentorship program. But let's say it's your friend who already is an experienced real estate professional and already knows about real estate. They already have more information and knowledge and experience than you. And that person's willing to help show you the ropes, maybe work with you on a couple deals. And look, don't count on this mentorship for free. When you've got somebody side by side in the deal with you, they're not doing that for charity. They're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it to not only help you, but also help themselves in the process. So understand when you're going into these mentorship situations where you're working with somebody in your transactions, that they'll be taking some sort of cut of your transaction, that there's some sort of percentage of your commission that's going to go to that mentor. But don't think of it as that they're taking your commission, as they're helping you earn that commission in the first place. And that's what you got to think, because these brokerages, they're going to come at some sort of cost. Maybe they charge some sort of monthly fee or an annual fee. Maybe they're charging a commission split. Maybe they're charging some combination of these items. So there's no brokerages where you're able to go start a business under a broker at no cost. There's always going to be some sort of cost. It's just what that cost is. But then rather than looking at it as a cost, as money it is that you're kissing goodbye, but what it is that you're getting in exchange for that money. When you're cutting your mentor in on the deal, maybe you've got a 50-50 commission split with the mentor where your mentor takes half and you take half of the commission. What makes more sense, 100% of zero or 50% of 10,000? Or even 50% of 1,000 even is still going to be better than zero, 100% of zero. So remember, everything it is that broker offers should be things, and this is where you've got to come in. And yes, I'm not here to tell you again that there's one brokerage that's perfect for everyone, because there's not. You've got to look at what that brokerage offers and align it with your plan for being successful in real estate, on what it is that your needs and requirements are from a broker. And then find out which one's going to give you your best return on investment, which one is going to be the best investment. So that mentorship is huge. Now, there's some more things that I want to touch on that are important when you're choosing a broker. But we're going to take a quick commercial break, so don't go anywhere. We've got a few more things I want to touch on that are essential when you're choosing a real estate broker. We'll be back in less than 2 minutes. I'm John Christman. You're watching State of Real Estate.
Have you seen what's going on in Tampa?
If you're looking to get in on the real estate action that's going on in Tampa right now, we're who you need to talk to. We can help you get your real estate license, start your real estate career. We're here to assist you for the life of your real estate career. Give us a call. Phone number is 813-928-0106, or check us out online at tampaschool.com.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrisman. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. Every Friday, 12 noon Eastern Time, we're live helping you mastermind to grow your real estate business. And today we're talking from a point of really starting your real estate business, or maybe restarting your real estate business, because a very essential part of a real estate business is the brokerage. So in Florida, when you get a real estate license, a sales associate license, you're not allowed to work independently. And the reason why that law exists is because you're deemed to just have a minimal competence as a sales associate in Florida. And they want to partner you up and pair you up with a broker who's going to ensure that you comply with the law. So that's what the FREC is most concerned with, that you're complying with the law, that the broker is watching over what it is that you're doing and making sure that you don't break the law, you don't break a FREC rule. So that's the legal purpose of the broker. But now the purpose of a broker from a business standpoint, of course they're going to make sure that they should be making sure that you're staying legal, but it should be for helping you earn those commissions. But before we went on break, we were talking about, the cost of a broker. And this is something that you have to weigh out of how it is that they have their cost structured. Do they have some sort of big upfront fee? A lot of these larger name organizations, the big nationwide or international real estate companies, these brokerages, they typically have very high fees, and that's how they pay for the advertising to make them the number 1 or number 2 or in the top 10 of most well-known brokerages in the world. Now, in this day and age in 2018, with social media, with the ease and low cost and low barrier of entry of being able to advertise, I don't think it's too worth it to have that big nationwide or international brand name recognition. That's just my perspective on this. That might be a good fit for you as an agent. Maybe that is something that you're able to present well and does add some additional value. Maybe they have systems and tools it is that you appreciate and great training programs. That's the benefit of these big companies, is for the brokers that start a franchise of whoever the nationwide or international brokerage franchisor is that they've got all these tools already there. So I wouldn't let that be too much bearing on you as a new agent. But what you do want to look for, again, is the training, number 1, the mentorship, the people, whatever you want to call that. Again, it doesn't have to be called a mentorship. They don't even have to offer a formal mentorship, but you've got somebody that's going to be holding you accountable, because it's not enough to hold yourself accountable. You want somebody that's going to help keep you in check, to help push you in the right direction, to help give you guidance on top of whatever it is that you're already being trained on. Great training is the foundation, but now mentorship is what actually makes it a reality. Now, third thing it is I would say is important. Now, not as important as these first 2 factors, way down on the list compared to that, but systems or tools. So what are these, bonus types of things it is that they're offering? And the reason why I call these bonuses is because you can get basically every system or tool that's necessary to run a real estate business through some sort of third-party company. So if you're joining a broker that has zero systems or tools, you could still get your own website. You could still get your own transaction management system. You could still get your own electronic signature system. You could still get your own business cards. You could still get your own lead management systems. You could still get your own phone systems or whatever little, I like to call these things gimmicky, because I've seen a lot of these larger name companies where they'll, come up with these names of what these systems are, and these crazy systems where it seems like it's exclusive to that company. But look, it's either just, some contact management, some CRM system, or some lead generation system or something like that. And these things aren't really the training and the mentorship, and really even all these do not have to be provided directly from your broker. There's some really great training programs that are out there that aren't specific to a broker. Yes, you're having to pay for those training programs, but they're available. Again, the mentorship doesn't have to come from the broker, but you want somebody that's going to hold you accountable, somebody. So that's really, we could call it mentorship, or we could call it just somebody. You've got somebody there helping you out, somebody helping getting commission money in your pocket. And then we've got our systems and tools. So again, contact management systems, websites, transaction management. We could also call this technology. What kind of technology is it that they're offering? Now, maybe you're not a very technical person. If you're not a very technical person, you want systems that are easy to use. You want systems where it requires very little on your part. Maybe you're super technology oriented and you really like that. I would recommend that you're careful and don't get too caught up in the technology, because the technology isn't what closes deals. And that's why I put this down third on the list here. And I really are only including this on the list because this is usually a lot of what brokerages will use to justify their commission splits, to what fees they charge or anything like that, is the technology stuff that you're getting from them. And it's absolutely worth something if it's used. Look, you don't need a website to have a successful real estate business. What? Did I just say that? Yeah, you don't need a website to have a successful real estate business. And having a website will not make your real estate business successful. Having people on that website and using that website and you converting people off of that website, that's where it'll maybe help your business be successful. But just having a website, I tell new agents, I've downgraded this to don't even worry about a website. Don't even worry about it. Your brokerage has a website, that's fine. People aren't even going to usually go on your website. They're not going to go on your website unless you're pushing them there. And how you push them there is through advertising. Whether that advertisement is on your business card, you're advertising on Google, you're advertising on Facebook, you're advertising on Instagram or Twitter or wherever it is that you're advertising to get business. Unless you're pushing people through those channels to your website, no one's going to go on your website. So don't waste your time trying to make this awesome killer website. The contact management system, CRM, I think customer relationship management, something like that is what the acronym is. But basically this is a system, a database to keep track of your clients, which that's important, to have some way somehow to keep track of your people. Now, this isn't the most efficient way, but it's a good way to start out, is just taking pen and paper and writing down, okay, I've got this person here, and making sure that you don't forget about any of those people. These CRM systems, they get super complex. If you've ever looked at companies like Salesforce or what are some of the real estate ones? I think Boomtown is maybe one of the real estate ones. That's really only one I can think of off the top of my head. There's so many different real estate CRM systems that are out there. They just get so complicated. And you've got to take training just to be able to use these tools. And when you're already worrying about training about how to actually sell real estate, and then on top of that you throw in trainings on, how to use the MLS, how to use your CRM system, it's going to take away from your training on what is actually going to get you paid. Using a CRM, having a CRM, knowing how to use the CRM isn't going to get you paid. The CRM is just a tool. It's just a tool. You could have a drill, you could have a saw, you could have a screwdriver, you could have a wrench. Just because you have this tool doesn't mean you're able to build a house. So these are just tools. And you need to know how to use them in order to be able to build something with them. To be able to build a sale or foster a sale using a CRM system and foster future sales. Look, it's a very essential tool for your long-term success, but when you're just getting started, this is just another thing with another learning curve, and if it's not something super easy to use, it's probably not even worth it to start out. You can keep track of this on it's not the best way to do it, because you'll lose maybe some pieces of paper, you'll forget where something is placed, and it's not a perfect system, but just having a notepad, a notebook, something like that, a good old-fashioned planner maybe to write stuff down in, you want to have something to track it. Look, you can maybe use some sort of spreadsheet and list out all your clients in a spreadsheet. Look, don't be crazy about trying to make your tool the best tool it is when you don't have any sales yet. Figure out the sales process, figure out how to get some deals closed, figure out how to get some business, and then figure out how these tools can help enhance your business. Maybe you're thinking about changing brokers, and that's why you're tuning into this today. You're thinking about, changing from the broker you're at currently and going to a different broker. And look, if you've already got the sales process figured out, you've already been able to close some deals, but maybe your broker doesn't offer a whole lot of tools or systems or anything like that, I would look into options for these tools that aren't through a broker. Because a lot of times, especially if these are the broker's proprietary or exclusive CRM system or website or transaction system or anything like that, it's probably not that good. You have to remember that real estate brokerages are brokerage companies, meaning that their sole purpose of existence is to bring together buyers and sellers in a sale. They're not a technology company. They're not a Facebook. They're not a Google. They're not a Salesforce. They're not these companies that exist to make the greatest, most useful, most powerful tools. So this isn't something I would weigh too heavily on. And that's why I wanted to bring this up here, because brokers will sell this like this is the greatest thing ever, that having these things will make you a success in real estate. That's not true. They might be able to take you from good to great, but having a CRM, having a website, having a transaction management system, having whatever, is not the reason why you're going to be successful in real estate. It's something that might help you, but look, these are probably the easiest tools to find elsewhere, that you don't need to get directly through your brokerage. And you are typically going to be able to find a better website or a better CRM system or a better something than what the brokerage offers, especially if it's their own private labeled, home cooked CRM system. It's probably outdated. It's probably clunky. It's probably not too easy to use. Probably doesn't work too well. I could be wrong. I have not seen every brokerage that exists and their proprietary tools and systems. And as we progress further in the future, maybe you're watching this not in 2018, maybe you're watching this years down the road and brokerages have changed completely. Brokerages have been evolving since the invention of the brokerage, and they will continue to evolve. And in the future, I think they will be more technology oriented. But the real estate industry is a little behind in the times, and so that's not always the case. But look, these tools you could find through actual technology companies that will have systems that are maybe better than something the brokerage cooked up on their own. Even if this is some international brokerage, I would be skeptical about these systems unless it truly is something that is easy to use and that works well. So again, you've got to take this with a grain of salt. Maybe you don't like technology at all. So yeah, maybe you just want to use the old pen and paper approach. Maybe use some files. You got to think of how people practice real estate before the computer existed. Because real estate has been a pretty long-term profession in the world. So it's not something brand new that just cropped up since we've had computers. No, people were able to do real estate before computers. And there's still people today who do real estate without computers. To a certain extent. You've got to be able to use the MLS and things like that, searching for properties. But look, your business is not on your computer. Your business is the clients it is that you're helping purchase homes. So look, these things can be great additions, but remember them as that. This should not be the sole reason why you're choosing a brokerage. You should, number one, choose a broker off of training. If you've identified some brokers that you've interviewed with and you're like, wow, these all have great training programs, move on to number two. Which one am I going to have mentorship opportunities at? That might give you your choice right there. Maybe there's only one brokerage that has some sort of mentorship program out of the ones that you've identified, the ones that you are considering joining. So maybe that decides it right there. But if there are multiple ones where they've got somebody it is you could turn to, somebody that's going to hold you accountable, okay, then let's look at what systems it is that they have. Let's look at what are these items it is that they have. But, I'd bump this down a little bit. And any of your brokers that are out there watching, quit trying to sell these as the reason why your brokerage is worth whatever it is that you're saying is worth. Go off the training, go off the mentorship, because that is what makes a successful agent. And then these things come third to training and mentorship. And I will say, regardless of what day it is, what year it is, what century it is, what decade it is, what country, what state, training is still going to be number one. Mentorship is still going to be number two. And maybe these will flip around. Maybe mentorship is more important than training, but training is always a better foundation to mentorship. Because if you're just going to somebody, if let's say the brokerage doesn't have any training programs, but they do have a great mentorship program, if they don't have a training program, you're going to this one person every time it is that you want to know how to do something. Where there's a lot of things where there could be some sort of curriculum, some sort of class, some sort of program that teaches you the basics of this. And now for the more advanced things that are maybe less likely to happen, that could come up still, that's where the mentorship comes in. So training always number one. We want to build this out as a pyramid of what's important. Training, that's your most basic need in a broker. Number two, mentorship. And look, I don't care where it is that you're at in your real estate career, you're still going to want somebody mentoring you. Unless you're satisfied with where your business is and you don't mind if your business goes down. That's right, I said you don't mind if your business goes down. If you don't want your business to decrease, you still need mentorship. Because look, if you're not constantly improving and increasing yourself, you're going to end up falling behind. So there's higher levels of mentorship and training. The mentorship that a new agent needs is not the same as the mentorship that an experienced agent needs, and an even more experienced agent, and an even more experienced agent. You constantly need to be surrounding yourself with people who are going to take you higher, help pull you up. And then finally at the tip, and we'll really kind of make this the small piece that's up here, that's where we've got the tools. The tools mean nothing if you don't have training on how to use them. The tools mean nothing if you don't know how to execute these tools and use them. So those are probably the three things I'd boil it down to. And then obviously the cost that's associated. But I would worry about the cost last. Now, unless you've already got some sort of fixed cost in mind, which, hey, that's completely understandable. I mean, you're probably not starting a real estate business with unlimited income with some sort of untapped reserve of money where you just got an endless supply of money. So maybe that is something that eliminates some brokers right off the bat. But for the ones that are within your budget of being able to start a brokerage for what it is they might charge, because they might charge you for this training program. They're probably going to charge you for mentorship. They're probably going to charge you for tools. Now, how is it that they're charging you? How is it that the broker is making money? Because a good broker should not be a broker that's worried about selling their own houses and selling their own deals and closing their own deals. A good broker should worry about helping others do that. That's when you're ready to become a broker, when you don't care so much about you actually practicing real estate, but helping others practice real estate. But you're helping yourself in the process, because again, we're not doing this to be a charity here. We're doing this to run a business, to make money. So not only do you want to make money, but the broker wants to make money. And if you find a broker that doesn't care about making money, that's probably not a good environment for somebody who wants to make money. So your broker should want to make money, but look, in the long term, if a broker wants to continue making money, they know that they need a program that's going to make agents successful, because if the agents aren't successful, you can go leave this brokerage at any time. So you could go change brokers. You could go find a new broker. You're like, wow, this is a great broker. I'm going to go join here. You go do that, and you're like, all right, I think this is going to be a better fit over here, and you go maybe change a broker. Now, before you do that, before you just jump around with anything, I would advise some persistence, because the grass will always seem greener until you get over on that other grass. You find out, well, wow, this grass still needs to be mowed. This grass still needs to be watered. This grass still needs to be fertilized. We still got to pull the weeds in this grass. This grass is just as bad as the other grass. They were just taking care of it better. And now I'm having to take care of it. So the grass isn't always greener somewhere else. The grass will always require work. So if you've already committed to a broker, especially if you already have time or money invested with that broker, see it through. And worst case scenario, yeah, maybe you need to find a new broker. But if there's other agents that are successful, that would be another thing it is that I would ask. Now, this isn't ultimately, I would put on the list of what's most important, but I would ask them, okay, well, what are other agents? Where's the proof that what you do actually works? And that should be going for any of these. Where's the proof that this training works? Where's the proof that this mentorship program works? Where's the proof that this system works? Because if these really do work, they should be able to show you somebody, oh, this agent right here, it worked for them in 1 month. It worked for them in 2 weeks. It worked for them in 3 months. They should be able to show you results. So for anything up here, you should look for proof. Because just because they say they have the best CRM or best website or best transaction management system or best training or best mentorship program, really? Well, prove it. What proof do you have? And look, don't be afraid about asking these questions. Because if you're running into a brokerage where they get offended for you asking these questions, probably not a good brokerage to be at. You want an environment that welcomes proof. Because no proof means no money. If it doesn't work, nobody makes money. Maybe the broker will still make money off of it. Maybe they're charging you some upfront fee or something like that. But you're not going to make any money if there's no proof that this works. You don't want to be a test subject. You don't want to be an experiment. Yeah, we've got this training class here. No one's been able to sell a house after this training class, but we're still experimenting with it. Doesn't sound like it's a great training program. I know we didn't talk about that one, but hopefully that one seems kind of obvious. But key thing you want to ask for is proof, because with no proof, you're just an experiment. You're just a beta test. You don't know if it's really going to work. So I know we talked about before choosing a broker. We've got some other videos on our YouTube, on our Facebook, on our Success Center, tampaschool.com/success, where we talk about some other things. But to really sum this up and break this down into just really the most important things: training, mentorship, and then your systems, tools, technology, whatever it is that brokerage has. But training is always number one. The mentorship is always number two, and then everything else. These two are your most important attributes to look for when you're considering choosing a broker. And again, just get in there and interview them. Find out why it is that you should join them. Make them convince you. But don't make it easy on them. Grill them. Throw them some tough questions. If they don't have answers for those, maybe think twice. Maybe interview a few other brokers before you're ready to make a decision. So that's all the time we've got for today. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you have any comments or questions, anything like that after the show, drop that in the little chat in the comments, and we'll respond to those comments. We respond to everything, every question. You might actually be a reason why we do a future video. We base all of these videos, not just something like, oh, this would be something fun to talk about today, but what is it that our students need help understanding? Well, what is it that would benefit our students? That's where we base this around, and we don't know that until you tell us. So if you got a question, if you've got a concern, if you got a comment, drop that in the comments so we can help you out. You could also give us a call. You want the more one-on-one interaction, we've got advisors standing by. That phone number is 813-333-2676. Again, 813-333-2676. You also text us at that number. We're fancy, we text here. You can email us as well. The old school text messages, the emails. So you do that. If you haven't checked out our Success Center yet, go to tampaschool.com/success. Again, that's tampaschool.com/success. That's our Success Center. We've got all kinds of hundreds of videos, articles, tools, calculators, all kinds of things like that in there designed to help you build a successful real estate business. Because at the Tampa School of Real Estate, we don't just care about getting you your real estate license. That's a great start, but now what? What's next? How do you become successful in real estate? You learn a lot in your real estate licensing course, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. So we're here every Friday. We've been here every Friday for quite some time. There's hundreds of videos on our Success Center. You can watch all the replays. That's tampaschool.com/success. SUCCESS. It's all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys again for tuning in. If you found this helpful, share it with your friends, share it with your family. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.
Have you seen what's going on in Tampa?
If you're looking to get in on the real estate action that's going on in Tampa right now, we're who you need to talk to. We can help you get your real estate license, start your real estate career. We're here to assist you for the life of your real estate career. Give us a call. Phone number is 813-928-0106, or check us out online at tampaschool.com.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate.